Okay, what's up, everybody? What is up? It's Monday, August 28th, 2017. How are you doing? I hope the answer is good. If it's not, well, hopefully today's gameplay stream will cheer you up and or give you some form of a positive reinforcement and entertainment. Yes, hello, everybody. What's up? DSP here. Live on the stream. What are we doing today? Well, it's going to be a good one. After 3 months, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, it was early June when I started this playthrough. Yes, that's how long this playthrough has been, over 200 parts. And going, still going. Danganronpa 2, ladies and gentlemen. The conclusion, the big conclusion, right here on stream today. We're actually starting right in the final trial. Apparently, from what I have understood, there's only about 3 hours left in the game, which is perfect, because today's gameplay stream is going to be about 3.5 hours long, give or take. So it'll give us time for a little break there. And yes, if I need to run a tiny bit long today in order to finish up the game, I'm okay with that. I'm not doing a second stream later tonight, folks, FYI. Yeah, if I need to go a little late, it's fine. I'll just eat dinner a little later. And later tonight, I'm going to be working on reviews. Finally, for the first time in 3 months, I'm going to try to film some reviews tonight. I know, it's been quite a while since I've had an opportunity to do so. I was planning on filming multiple reviews last week. That didn't work because I had so much, pretty much nonsense going on, in regards to trolling and all kinds of shit going on with people getting access to passwords of mine from the past and messing with me all week, that I did not get the opportunity to sit down and do what I wanted to do because I had to waste several hours calling multiple companies to try to get things settled. And it sucked. Alright? So, I have 3 reviews lined up that I need to film. I've got Ages of Mayhem, I've got Sonic Mania, and I've got Uncharted Lost Legacy. You know, 3 games of various quality levels. So, definitely these reviews should be good. I'm going to work on some of those tonight. I don't know if I'll get all of them done, but I'll definitely work on recording some of those tonight. And hopefully maybe even getting one, you know, released tonight over on KO Gaming, so that people realize the channel is not dead. I mean, it is. It's been dead for over 3 months. I haven't posted a video there since May. But now I want to get stuff moving again. Okay? So, yes, that'll be tonight. That's what I'll be working on tonight. Tomorrow, folks, we've got 2 new releases. 2. With the launch of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle on the Nintendo Switch and Yakuza Kiwami on the PS4. Now, Mario plus Rabbids, I'm going to have to keep checking all night. I'm going to have to just keep checking to see when Nintendo finally makes it available digitally, because I've been waiting and waiting. I bought a 64GB memory card for $20 on Amazon, which was a great deal, by the way, in order to have storage space for this game on my Switch. And I've been checking every day to see if it's available, like, can you pre-download it? And the answer is no. Apparently Nintendo doesn't do that. So I'm just going to have to keep checking tonight and see, you know, will it be 9 p.m. tonight my time? Will it be actual midnight tonight my time? Or will it be sometime in the middle of the morning that they'll make it available that I can actually download the game? They Call Me Jim Bob is asking, what size is the game? I believe it said it was 8 gigs, but then there's a big disclaimer. It says, oh, you know, it might list that it says a certain file size above, but that's not necessarily the file size the game will actually take when you download it. And I'm like, then why'd they even bother to list a file size if it's wrong? I've seen this before, too. I've actually seen where Nintendo lists a file size, and then when you download the game, it's like twice as big. That's happened to me before on my Wii U. So, I mean, think about it. How could the game be 8 gigs? I don't think it is. I think it's going to end up being, like, a lot bigger. But anyway, yeah, so I got to download that overnight. I already have Yakuza Kiwami on my PS4. And from what I'm to understand, Yakuza Kiwami It's a remake of the original Yakuza, Yakuza 1, which I never played. So that's good because I actually want to play Yakuza 1. And I just recently, earlier this year, I played Yakuza 0, right? So this will be a perfect opportunity because it's basically following up right after 0 ends, I believe. So, that's good. That's a good thing. And Yakuza Kiwami, from what I understand, is a far more streamlined game because Yakuza 1 didn't have the insane amount of side content that future Yakuza games ended up adding in. Apparently, it's like really, probably from what I'm being told, I could be wrong, it's only like half as long as other Yakuza games. So, this could be a good thing because I could start playing it now and it could be kind of the game that I balance with the other new releases until basically mid-September when we're going to get a new Patron's Choice game selected. Alright, and then I could jump into that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's tomorrow. 2 brand new games, folks. And then this coming Thursday, I'm also going to be playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, the prequel miniseries that explains all the stuff that happened previous to the events of Life is Strange that were never really explained in Life is Strange. I think so many people liked Life is Strange, but were like, gee, we'd really like a definitive answer on what the hell happened beforehand because we never really got one. I think we're finally going to get that now, okay? So, pretty cool, right? Good stuff going on. Now, I just mentioned a Patron's Choice playthrough. Allow me to explain. Right now, July patrons of mine are nominating games for the next Patron's Choice playthrough. Since Danganronpa 2 is obviously concluding today, we need another game, right? The good news is, tons of patrons have stepped up and nominated games. Finally, I'm excited because I actually got patrons engaged. A lot of the times I do these Patron's Choice and like 2 people nominate games. I'm like, oh my god. It was good. Like dozens of people have nominated games. So, we've got people excited. We've got people engaged. That's great. And so, I have some work to do. Basically, this coming weekend, what I'm going to be doing is looking at all of those Patron's Choice games and not narrowing it down, because what I need to do is basically narrow it down to a voting list so that patrons can start voting. So I'll be looking for games that have gotten multiple nominations, and basically making the voting based off of that. All right, we'll see. I mean, if I have to make a list of 10 games, I'll make a list of 10 games, but we'll see. You know what got voted how many times or whichever. And then patrons will begin to vote. And then by mid-September, we should have the next Patron's Choice determined, and we'll get it lined up and get ready to go. Should be good. Alright. So, folks, I don't have too much else to talk about on the pre-stream. I know we all want to get to the conclusion of Danganronpa after waiting how long, right, to get to this end of the game and find out what the hell is actually going on. I mean, now we pretty much know, because it was explained in the last part that I played, but we don't know how it's going to end. So, pretty good, you know, build up here to this big trial today, and we'll see how this goes. So, folks, I only have a couple quick things to talk about, and then we'll get started, alright? The first is Patreon. And this is an honest appeal, folks. I know that I always plug Patreon, but at this point, it is the 28th of August, which means there's 3 full days left in August, 29th, 30th, and 31st. That leaves 3.5 days left for you to pledge to my Patreon for the month of August. And ladies and gents, the bottom line is we are below the goal by about $200 or so. I think it's actually $215 below the goal, okay? The goal this month was to do a Halloween horror marathon in October. And if you pledge $5 or more, you're going to nominate and vote on the games for that marathon and be able to vote on the type of costume that I wear. Now, as usual, the assholes out there are spinning it that I somehow have done something horribly corrupt this month. Obviously, as you know, every month, whenever I talk about Patreon, I'm scamming you, right? I'm lying to you and scamming you for money. Not that this has been an ongoing way that I fund my efforts here to continue doing live streams and YouTube videos for the past 2.5 years. No, not that. I'm trying to pull the wool over your eyes, folks. That's right. This is obviously the money that I use to fund my ongoing heroin addiction. and to have the constant flow of Taiwanese hookers come into my house on a monthly basis. I'm admitting this publicly now so that we have full disclosure. This is what it's all about, okay? But anyway, if you want to keep the heroin going and the Taiwanese hookers coming here, you need to pledge to my... Okay, obviously, I'm joking, alright? But the bottom line is this, folks. Earlier this month, I misspoke a few days. I think it was like 3 or 4 days. I was misspeaking, and basically saying that we were going to do this monthly this celebratory Patreon event no matter what. And then after doing it for like 3 or 4 days, I realized I had screwed up and I was saying it the wrong way. The way Patreon works is I hit a funding level, and if I hit a funding level for the month, which by the way has always been the same funding level, I've always tried to raise around $1,250 a month. The problem is that Patreon's page, like my page, doesn't accurately reflect what's actually pledged to me. What it does is it factors in fees, it factors in people whose pledges get declined, it factors in a million things, so the public-facing number is always different from what it actually is that I receive on a monthly basis. Okay? So that being said, you know, I'm trying to raise $1,250 a month. The page says $1,125. If I reach $1,125, I'll basically have made $1,250. I know that sounds really fucking stupid, but that's the truth, okay? So anyway, I'm around $200 below the monthly goal. The way it works is if I hit the monthly goal, which has always been like this, then I do a celebratory event. The celebratory event this month is the Halloween Horror Marathon. It's been like this for the past 2 years. It's not like all of a sudden I just started doing this. It's always been like this, where if I hit the goal, I do the event. The Halloween event the last 2 years worked the same way. But for some reason, I was misspeaking for a few days earlier this month. And so when I finally corrected myself and corrected the wording on Patreon and corrected everything, you know, the assholes have, oh, Phil's a scammer, Phil's a liar, Phil's a scammer. Go fuck yourself. No, really, because, you know, you've never, ever in your life said something the wrong way. You know, it's not like, you know, I have a million things going on in my life, and I'm, you know, sometimes stressed out, and I make a human error, which is what this was. You know what I mean? God forbid that I make a mistake. I'm not an infallible, perfect human. So I fixed it to be basically what it should have been and what it always has been. And people call me out for being a liar or dishonest. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. Suck my ass. Because enough is enough with you fucking people. You know? I'm in the situation I'm in with all this shit going on around me. All this fucking negativity and trolling and all this shit. My business is, you know, basically, you know, at a level here where I'm trying to migrate, if I can, to a more Twitch-based focus because of all this shit going on that's out of my control. And then on top of everything, then you gotta be a bunch of negative fucking dicks and do that kind of shit. Get the fuck out of here, seriously. That's just so dishonest, honestly. Who's really being dishonest here? I'm the one being upfront and honest and correcting my error. You're the ones lying. If you're saying that I'm being dishonest and everything, you're the fucking liar. And I got people on my forums impersonating, oh, I used to be a patron, and I withdrew my patron pledge because Phil's being dishonest. Get the fuck, and I look at the IP, of course. It's someone who's been banned from the forums 25 times. It's the same fucking people, and I've had enough of it at this point, alright? The bottom line is, folks, right now, we are below the goal by about $200. And it sucks. And some people, oh, Phil's gonna raise $900 and not do the goal. No, that's not how it works. The whole point of a Patreon goal celebration is to have motivation to raise funds. If I just do the event no matter what, then what's the point of having the goal to begin with, right? Just willy-nilly, just have anyone pledge whatever they want, and there'll be no motivation for people to pledge on a monthly basis, right? You know, because sometimes people pledge for specific things. Last month, a lot of people pledged because they wanted the Patron's Choice. The month before, people pledged because they wanted a Sonic event this month, which happened. And people loved it. I played not only Sonic Adventure 1, but then, which I wasn't even obligated to do, I went ahead and played Sonic Adventure 2. I regularly go above and beyond what's promised in these patron goals. So there you go, folks. I need your help, because right now we've got 3.5 days left, alright? and we need people to pledge. It's that simple. Now, it's very possible. It's very possible that we could hit the goal. All right? It's very possible. But we need some people to step up. Whether it's a small group of people who do large pledges, whether it's a large group of people who do small pledges. I've said this before. I haven't said it in a long time, but I'll say it again. The people who are most successful with Patreon do not have a large group of people pledging tons of money a month. That's not how it works. The way it works is it's crowdfunding. So having hundreds of people give $1 a month is how it actually works. That's why I leave the goals that are the most attractive as the lowest goal amounts. For $1, you get a visual thank you in my ongoing week in preview series. Every week of the month, you get that. That's a really attractive goal. A lot of people like that to get their name and written recognition. For the $5 goal, which is, in my opinion, the best one, that's the one where you get to nominate and vote on games for these events, right? This month, the bonus is that if you do the $5 pledge, you also get to vote on the Halloween costume. So you get double perk this month if we hit the funding goal. All right? So that being said, folks, please consider, if you have not, pledging. You have 3.5 days left. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. I love doing the Halloween event. I've done it the past 2 years when we hit the goal. I want to do it again this year, but I got to stick to my guns. I can't just not do it. Or excuse me, I can't just do it without hitting the funding. That would completely eliminate the whole point of the Patreon goals, all right? You know, we were kind of in the same situation last month, too. We were, when it came to the Patron's Choice. But there were a few people who were like, man, I really want Patron's Choice to happen. And since Phil is not doing a visual novel or a JRPG this time, we really want to get in on it. And a few people did some last-minute pledges that put us over the top. So it's definitely doable, but I got to mention it. And hopefully, you know, you guys are taking it seriously. And we'll see what happens the next few days. I'll certainly keep you all abreast of the situation. All right? All right. Now, the only other thing that I really want to talk about on pre-stream, about to burp. Hold on. There we go. Dang, I knew it was coming. That's why I told you and warned you. Excuse me. Whew. Is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for all of your support this August. It's been a great month here on Twitch. During the streams, you guys have been cheering, subbing, and tipping, and it's been really good, and I'm very appreciative of it, okay? Today in particular, I'm playing Danganronpa 2. This has been a playthrough that's been offline, and what I mean by that is when I play it, I close the stream chat, and there's no pop-up messages or anything like that on purpose because I try to avoid spoilers. The good news is, folks, I was not spoiled at all on Danganronpa 2. It's been a great playthrough, and I'm going to do more of the same today. In fact, just to forewarn everyone right now, as of this moment, I am removing the pop-up messages from the stream. Because now would be the time that a dick would come in and say, haha, I got them. Let's spoil the end of the game. I'm not going to do that. So I've just removed the pop-up messages. There will be no pop-up messages on the stream, okay? Now here's the thing. You guys have been awesome this month. You know, I am very grateful for what you've contributed. And it's because people are coming out. You know, you guys, I see a lot of regulars in the stream chat every day, right? I see them every day coming in. And I see that, you know, they're being very supportive. That's great. Now today, I'm not going to be doing verbal shout-outs. And I'm not going to be having the pop-up messages to avoid spoilers for the end game, all right? In addition, in just a moment, I'm going to close stream chat. Not that I'm looking at stream chat now, because I'm not. But in a minute, I'm just going to close stream chat, and I'm going to play the game and finish it, all right? Therefore, I understand there may be a lot of people who want to contribute. And I apologize in advance that I will not be doing shout-outs, and there will not be visual recognition because this whole playthrough has been like this. The good news is, after this playthrough ends, everything is back to normal. All of my playthroughs moving forward are going to have, you know, the shout-outs, the pop-ups, and all of that. Okay? Just because this was a visual novel, a game that's highly narrative-focused. If the story had been spoiled, it would have ruined it for everybody. And that's why I've done it this way. Okay? Now, I will say this, folks. The month of September is just about here. In fact, it's in the first 8 days of September that all of my monthly bills pretty much clear. My mortgages, my utilities, my credit card bills, my, you know, everything that I could think of. My monthly dues, you know, for, you know, living in a condo and stuff like that. Everything comes due within like the first week of the month. Problem being, this month I'm screwed because July ad revenue massively dipped on YouTube, and I made a third less than what I usually make on YouTube. Now, you know, in the past this wasn't a big deal, but being now that I'm single and I'm responsible for everything now in this household, that's the problem. I'm pretty screwed right now because I don't have anything to fall back on to help me out. That being said, I'm pretty boned financially for the month of September, and that's no exaggeration. At this point, last night I paid a bunch of bills, or at least scheduled a bunch of bills to be paid, and it looks like I don't have enough money to pay them. That sucks. That's a horrible feeling, all right? Now, the good news is this October has been, this August has been great. Like I said, you guys, your participation here on Twitch has been really good this month. This is probably going to be the best month I've ever had on Twitch. Plus, YouTube ad revenue has started to increase again. I noticed the past few days I've been looking at it, and it looks like the ad revenue on YouTube started to go up again. And this is no surprise. This always starts happening around this time of year because it's the hardcore gaming season. Number one, more people are watching my videos, obviously. But number two, the ad revenue just in general raises on YouTube because advertisers now are going to start the big push for the holidays at the end of the year. Okay? So what I'm looking at here is it looks like if everything keeps going the way that it's going, October should be good. October should be a great month because already we've got, you know, really great participation here on Twitch, and YouTube ad revenue is going up slightly, so it looks like both will be better when it comes to October when I actually get those payments. The problem is I have to get through September, and if I've got bills, you know, defaulting, my bank account being overdrawn, and things just, you know, not getting paid, that's going to screw me over, not only personally with overdraft fees and shit like that, and basically companies putting me, you know, into, you know, unpaid status and putting fees and, you know, things like that going on. But it's going to hurt my credit. It's going to just basically destroy me. And it sucks because I don't like that. It's not that I didn't work hard, and it's not that you guys didn't support me. That's the thing. I busted my ass in July and did many playthroughs like the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin Redemption run, right? I did Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare. I did 2 different Crash games. I basically kept you guys entertained in July, and you liked what I put out there. Because it wasn't that there was a dip in views. There wasn't. The problem is YouTube does a terrible job of, someone does an absolutely terrible job of selling ad space during the summer. They just do. They're awful. It's bullshit. And it's not my fault or your fault. It's their fault. But, you know, God forbid that they actually take responsibility for anything, because they don't. So, what am I getting forwards here? Ladies and gentlemen, I already mentioned Patreon. Alright? That's one way you can help me, because Patreon funds that you pledge, I get in the first week of September. So I would actually get the Patreon funds in time to help pay my bills. The other thing would be tipping me here on the stream today. If you like the Danganronpa 2 playthrough, if you've liked the conclusion, alright? If you want to see me continue to be able to cover new releases in the fall, right? You know, cover all this stuff that's going on. You know, afford all the new releases, right? That's the other thing. I have to afford to buy all these games. I have to afford my ridiculously expensive internet, which is the only internet that I can actually get here that will allow me to do this for a job. You know, afford electricity, afford everything. Then please, if you could tip me during today's stream, or, you know, any of the streams coming up the next week, it would be incredibly appreciated, because if you tip me, those funds I get right away. You know, cheers and subs are great. I'm very appreciative for those as well. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth, but those take 2 months to process. Right now, I'm kind of in desperate need. I need tips, all right? Now, if you're interested, how do I tip? Well, what you do is you go, if you're on the stream right now, if you look below the stream on my Twitch page, there's a section. And in that section, it lists rules. It lists all kinds of stuff, different, you know, plugs and associated links. There's a tips section. If you click on it, there's a picture of me posing with Pokemon. If you click on that picture, it'll take you to the tips page. You can either do an anonymous tip, or you could do a tip with a message. Now, like I said, there will not be pop-up messages during the stream, and I'm not going to be doing active shout-outs, but I do read all those. So, you know, at the end of the stream, I'll probably go back and read everything. And how about this, folks? For the first time ever, during a Danganronpa stream, if you cheer, sub, or tip, okay, at the end of the stream, I will read your messages and respond, all right? I'm not going to do it now to avoid spoilers. Since we're at the end of the game, it would make no sense for me to start doing it now. I'll do it at the very end of the stream, okay? Fair enough? All right. There you go. So you'll still get some kind of recognition for tipping. If you do it, it's just going to be at the end of today's stream, all right? All right, everybody. I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap it up. And that's going to be it, folks, for the pre-stream. I think we're going to get started with the conclusion of Danganronpa 2. How does that sound? Good? All right, so I am now formally closing the stream chat, all right, to avoid any spoilers. There already are no pop-up messages on the screen. And momentarily here, we're going to do the end game. It's going to start right at the final trial. So, sounds good? All right, here we go.